number one thing that will cause you to sink, go down, go under, and not recover? And what is the number one thing that will cause you to come out when you sink? I'll talk about it. Don't go away. Be right back right here on Fresh New Wine.
You can do it. Don't stop. Ed Montgomery. Come on. A new way of thinking. Transform your mind. Straight from the vine. Fresh new wine.
I lost my water bottle. Somebody find me a water bottle somewhere. Okay. All right. See how things just, well, there's no water in here. See how things just magically appear? Welcome to Fresh New Wine. I am your host, Ed Montgomery, aka Dr. Ed. Thank you for joining with us. Thank you for being here. It's a miracle that we're even in the space that we are in right now, because every day we wake up in this craziness that's going on around us. I promise you, is a miracle. If you, wherever you are, hit that like button, because that like makes a difference. It helps us to deal with the algorithms. And if you're in another city other than the city of Houston, which is where we are, Katy, Houston, Katy's right outside of Houston, you can click and let us know what city you are in. If you're in a state other than Texas, let me know what state you're watching from. And if you're in a country other than the U.S., let me know what country you are watching from. We know we got people that watch from different countries who watch this on different time zones. Thank you so much for watching from wherever you are. It makes a huge difference to us when you do this. So make sure you hit that button. Also, share this with some friends and people that you like, because you don't want to share it with just everybody, because people get tired of you sending all that stuff to them. There is this thing we call faith. We talk about it all the time. Anybody that talks about spiritual things will always deal with the term faith somewhere down the line. And people, when they think of faith, they think that faith is taking risks, jumping out on the edge of nothing, and jumping out on the unknown, and walking out into unknown areas. That's what it means to have faith. Almost like doing crazy things or stupid things or things that you would not expect to work, but you did it anyway. I've heard stories of people talk about, well, you know, I didn't know what I was going to do, so I just quit my job. I had 4 kids, a wife, and I just quit my job, and I just went out there on faith. Well, that's not faith. That is actually stupidity. But that's presuming and hoping that something good will happen to you or for you. Faith is not hope. It is a different, totally different animal. But then you jump out on faith and something happens. This was the story of a man by the name of Peter, who was a disciple. A disciple is a person who is a learner under discipline. Check that out. The word disciple means learner under discipline. In other words, you're learning something, but you're disciplined to stay within the parameters of what you're learning. Now check that out. Think about that. A disciple of someone who is teaching you how to walk by faith, how to be a person of faith. That person that's teaching you how to be a person of faith is not teaching you how to take risks. They're teaching you principles of spiritual things, the way the universe works. What is it that holds the planets in their orbit? What is it that keeps the planet Earth revolving, turning on its axis, going around the sun? Is it gravity? What is that force we call gravity? What is the power that keeps everything moving? It looks like everything is standing still, but nothing is standing still. Everything is moving. The earth is moving. The sun is moving. The solar system is moving and expanding. The galaxy, inside of the galaxy that looks like it's stationary, but it's even moving. It is believed that the Andromeda galaxy and the Milky Way galaxy are coming together right now and ultimately will intersect and collide. So even all of that is moving, and other galaxies who are connected with other galaxies are moving into universes. Who knows? Maybe universes are moving into universes. We don't know. These things are so awesome around us and beyond us. Huge things that keep powerful things that we can't even use our vocabulary to express. And do we even think that with all of this power, that we can put all of this in one word and call it God? So when someone asks you, do you believe in God? I think your first question ought to be back to them is, what in the world do you mean by God? Because from what I'm seeing around some of these people out here in this world, in these places of politics, and we believe in God, and we want God in our society, and we want God in our country, and we want God back in America. I honestly do not even think you even understand the definition of God, because everybody has a different understanding of God. When you look in the Bible and you see the word God, that word means something different to everybody. God is not the name of what we call God. That is not God's name. What is God's name? Well, God told you what his name was. In Exodus chapter 3, God says, when Moses asked him, what is your name? God said, I am that I am. I am what I am. That's all you need to know. Well, what do I tell people your name is? What I am is what I am. How in the world are you going to explain that? Back in those days, name meant the explanation of your character. It meant an explanation of who you are. Someone names a child Sunshine, or someone names a child Smiling Face, and it means that was the first thing they saw in that child, and that's why they named that child that. And then from that point on, that name becomes prophetic, and that child tries to live up to that, to the meaning of that particular name. That's how names were done at one time. Now, we name people just because of how it sounds. We don't always name people for prophetic reasons, or speaking things through a name or through character in order to form character. So God is not the name of God. So God means different things to different people. So when you ask me, do I believe in God? I'm going to ask you the question, what do you mean by God? Do you believe in Jesus? What do you mean, what do I believe in Jesus? What does the word belief mean? Well, you're sure getting really technical about it. Hey, just they know what they're doing. People are saying, do you believe in Jesus? Do you believe Jesus Christ exists? Do you believe Jesus Christ is the Son of God? Do you believe this? What do you mean by belief? The word belief is teaching. And so what is a disciple? A disciple is a learner of words under teaching. So therefore, you got to get the definition of the words right in order to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined enough to accept the definition of the word in order to put the words together to learn the meaning of the universe. This is not just you went to somebody's church. and you sung God Bless America, and you raised your hands and tears came down your eyes because God shed his grace on thee. Faith is a teaching. Now, so when I get out of, so say there's a storm going on. This is what the story is about. The story is about a guy named Peter who gets out of a boat in the middle of a storm, sees Jesus walking water and wants to walk water. So he gets out of the boat and he says to Jesus, he said, "Is that you?" Jesus says, "Yes, it's me." He said, "If that's you, then let me come to you. Let me walk water like you are walking water. Let me do a miracle like you do a miracle. Let me do what you do. Let me act like you. Teach me to act like God. Teach me to act like Jesus. Teach me to have the mindset. Teach me to have a Christ consciousness. Teach me to have the ability to see things going on that are horrible and horrific around me, harmful, hurtful things around me, and teach me how to stay grounded, how to stay strong, how to stay in a place and not be torn back and forth here and there and taking me into all of this stressful living that is actually killing me every single day of my life. People pulling me in all different directions. Because when that happens, so Peter jumps out on the water. He walks on the water. Great guy. Jesus told him he could do it. And he begins to do what Jesus said he could do. Until it tells us that he looked at the storm. He looked at the rain. He looked at the wind. He looked at the power of the disturbance around him. And he began to sink. What is the disturbance around you? You have to identify it. You have to look at it. If you look at it, you'll find out. You have to acknowledge what is the disturbance around you that is causing you to sink. Because once you see the disturbance and lose your focus, you will begin, you don't lose your teaching, you lose your grip upon your teaching. Your teaching is not solid enough to hold you. You begin to sink. You lose the ability to walk on the substance of your teaching. Now, what do I mean by that? Your teaching teaches you how to stay focused in the middle of chaos. If all of the powers around you can take you away from your focus, then you can lose your ability to walk on water. You can lose your ability to hold yourself in the moment of a miracle. The ability to stay in touch with yourself. The ability to keep trusting and having your faith in God, however you see God. The ability to stay in the presence of love, to stay in the authenticity of the moment. I realize that you have to understand about how authentic a moment is. And if you're saying, I'm in a good place right now, this is a good moment, how can you stay in that moment even though tough things are going all around you? And when you begin to sink, what is happening, you are beginning to do something that is called fear. Fear is what takes us under. The opposite of faith is not doubt. It is fear, becoming afraid. Why do we become afraid? Listen, before I close this out today, listen, let me say to those of you who support what we're doing, thank you so much. I am so grateful. As a matter of fact, you are the one that keep us walking water so that we can keep bringing whatever we have into your home, into your life, into your house. Our goal is to make sure that we can at least teach you at least one thing. And when I mean teach you, I'm not trying to invade your mind with my concept of teaching of things. I want to lay a banquet out before you so you can look at it and say, you know what? That looks good. And when you taste it, you say it tastes good. And you eat it's good for you. You get up and try to work out the next day and you find out that the food was good for your soul and enables you to work out. This is what I want to do, is always give you the kind of spiritual food that you can work out your life to. That way you come back. See, that's what brings people back. Just trying to, you better come back or God's going to get you. No, what brings people back is good food. They may not come back every day, but they'll come back because it's good food. So take a moment and 713-742-2035. 713-742-2035. That's our text to give. You can text $7, $8, or $9. 7 is the number of completion. 8 is the new number of beginning new things. 9 is the number of a storehouse where you're going to store things. It is the number of foundation. It is the number that I'm sure this is where I'm going to stand. I'm beginning a new life now, and this is where I'm going to build this new life. So $7, $8, $9, whatever it is, while you're watching this, send it, text it to us on that text to give. Or you can go to myalc.org. That's myalc.org. myalc, 3 letters, .org. And that will get to us directly. It'll go straight to, on your computer, it'll go straight to our website. It is perfectly safe. It has been here for years. We've used it for years, so you can do it that way. Now, we sink because of, what did I say? We become afraid. It is fear. What causes fear? It is seeing images around us that are opposite to what we are hearing about concerning faith. It is altering words. It is changing images. If somebody says, you know, we got a good economy, and someone comes along and says, oh, the economy is in the toilet. You said, well, no, I've been looking at the numbers and the statistics. This is a good economy. But they keep saying the economy is trash. Well, show me proof. They can't. We don't need to show you proof. Just believe what I'm saying. Just believe, or what they mean by they're saying, believe what I'm saying. Step out on faith and accept what I'm saying just because I say it. No, your economy is doing good. You got your work. You got a job. You're going to work. You're doing it. But just because they say it's no good, or because they say America is no good, our country is no good, our system is no good, everybody before me made it a bad country, and only I can make it good. You watch those kind of people. Open up your eyes. Watch those kind of people. Those kind of people will have you thinking that bad is good and good is bad. They will flip the opposite. When you flip the opposite, you're turning fear, or you're turning faith into fear. And when you get into fear, fear will cause you to lose your teaching, your serenity, your peacefulness, your ability to stabilize yourself. And you will find yourself sinking down, down, down. And there's only one thing that's going to bring you back up, and that's faith again. But how do you get rid of the fear? Dr. Ed, how do you get rid of the fear? Hang with me. You know I'm coming back next week. You know I am coming back next week. We're going to talk just about that. Hey, let me know. You out there listening? You want to hear about it? I'm going to get with you. We're going to do this. Hello, my friends. I am Ed Montgomery, and thank you so much for everything that you have done throughout the year of 2024. 2024 is like the number of 8, the number of new beginnings. We're now in 2025. And although I don't allow my life to be guided by numbers, numbers can play an important part if we think about it. And there is a number, 365, that has always been important in my life. 3 added to the number of 6 equals a number of 9. 5, number of 3 equals 8. When you start playing around with these numbers, it can mean new beginnings. It can mean foundations. It can mean storehouses. It can mean a lot of things. You can always look it up. But there's one word that I thought about concerning this season we are in right now at the first part of the year. I was out walking and decided just to get out there and get some sun. It was kind of cold out there, so I decided to put a sweater on. My wife, who has recently, well, not recently, but passed away several years ago, had bought a present for me, and I didn't know I still had it. I never wore it. And so I put it on. Eyesight-wise, I couldn't really see the color of it. I thought it was like a cream white, and so I just put it on with a pair of jeans. Got out, I started getting people giving me compliments. Had a young lady say, "Oh, nice sweater." And I said, "Oh, that's cool. Guy at my age. Hey, nice sweater." Another girl turns around and says, "Hey, you look good." And I said, "Oh, wow." And then I got to the counter and got ready to check out. Young lady says, "You seem like a guy that knows who he is. I really like a guy like that. Nice sweater." And I said, "Ma'am, why are you saying this is a nice sweater?" "Oh, it's because of the color." I said, "Man, what color do you see?" And the lady kind of chuckled. She said, "It's hot pink." And I kind of wanted to, and I thought about hot pink. And the lady says, "That's bold." I left out of that place thinking about that word. So I was getting ready to put my coat on, but I said I'd leave my jacket off. And I'm going to wear my hot pink sweater. Listen, it may not be a hot pink sweater for you, but it might be some other things about your life, who you are, how you talk, how people have made you to keep quiet because maybe you talk too loud, or because maybe they don't like your jokes, or maybe they don't like your hair and the way you do your hair and what you do about the way you dress. Maybe people are always condemning you because you stand out in the crowd. But I'm here to tell you, 2025, the word is bold. That's what 365 is. It's about giving an amount that's bold, that says, you know what? I'm going to do something I've never done before. Now, I'm not talking to everybody. I'm talking to just people that know what I've been dealing with and talking about over the years. 365 is like giving $1 a day for an entire year, but doing it all at one time. Those of you that have ever done this with me, I'm asking you that you will engage with me. I don't care where you are, where you attend church, or whether you go or whether you don't go. You know what 365 is about. I'm asking you to engage with me. For those that are not sure what they understand, maybe it might be you can't do that. But you can do 365, 36.50. That's $36.50. I've had some of my younger people might even do $3.65. But do something and say, this is declaring my boldness for the year 2025. Give whatever is in your mind, whatever is on your heart. You can use so many different ways to do it. But there's if you're looking at this by email, click that donate button down at the bottom of the email. And it will take you to the screen where you'll be able to give it. Or you can do it online on text to give. That's 713-742-2035. Or you can write a check. People still do that. And slip it in an envelope. Put a stamp on it, because we got to put a stamp on this. And you can send it to Abundant Life Center, or you can send it to Ed Montgomery. It does not go into my personal pocket. It goes into ministry, 501c3, and we give you a statement. You get a statement, and you get your income tax and all that kind of stuff. It opens all that up for you automatically. And you can send it P.O. Box 772-300, Houston, Texas, 77215. That's 365. You can give that, or you can give more. $36.50, $3.65. But whatever you do, be bold. Get on out there and do it. And then when you give it, throw your head up. You got a warm heart, throw your shoulders back, and do your thing. Talk your talk. Be who you are, and say, I ain't thinking about other folk. Because guess what? Fortune favors the bold. Your ship is about to come to the dock and is loaded. Thank you so much for your generosity and for being so kind to us. God bless you. Look forward to hearing from you. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit that subscribe button. Smash it, crash it.